It is amazing to me how in good times people never think about God's provision, but in hard times, God's miracles of provision mean a great deal to us. Now, beloved, we've been through a couple of hard years, so let me remind you of a beautiful miracle of provision. It takes place on the shores of the Sea of Galilee. In John chapter 6, verses 1 to 12, we find the story. I won't read it all for the sake of time. But it's when Jesus multiplied the fishes and the loaves. And I want you to see some principles of this miracle of provision. First of all, look in verse 10. It says, "Tell everyone to sit down," Jesus said. So they all sat down on the grassy slopes. The men alone numbered about 5,000. The very first thing Jesus taught them is before you can have a miracle of provision, you need to have discipline. You need to have some order before provision will flow. You cannot have chaos or provision is not going to flow. You need to have some order and some discipline. Now, for some of you, that means getting the order of your finances. For some of you, it means getting some family budgets in order. But you need to have things in order so that there's not a stampede as a miracle of provision takes place. For God to just let miracles of provision flow when you are still living undisciplined, when you don't have a handle on your finances, when there's no structure to your finances, I'm sorry. All the bills aren't going to be paid, just like all the people here would not have been fed that day. There would have been some people pushing for more. It's amazing when there have been hard times and then provision flows. It is amazing the push to get control of that flow of finances. So order and discipline. Secondly, they learned that only in the hands of Jesus does multiplication take place. Verses 10 and 11. Then Jesus took the loaves, gave thanks to God, and distributed them to the people. And afterward he did the same with the fish. Now notice, the multiplication did not take place in the hands of the disciples. The multiplication took place in the hands of Jesus. So when you take the little that you have and you place it in his hands, that's where the multiplication of provision takes place. Great principle you need to get a hold of. Thirdly, God provides in abundance. Look at verse 12. And after everyone was full, verse 11 says, and they all ate as much as they wanted, not as much as they needed. Jesus didn't say, all right, based on your dietary requirements, this is how many calories you need to intake today. When everybody had as much as they wanted, and they were all full, miracles of provision occur in abundance. God always gives us more than enough. And lastly, Jesus never wanted waste. Verse 12, now gather the leftovers so that nothing is wasted. Again, when times have been hard and there's a big flow of God's provision, it is amazing how much people waste. Let me say that again. It's amazing how much people waste because they think, another miracle will happen. No matter the source, God never wants waste. 4 great principles of provision.